Welcome to the Vernon Hills Update. The update offers information about a variety of village services. You'll meet a few of your neighbors and you'll find out about upcoming events. On today's show, we'll get you ready to celebrate Oktoberfest, planned for Saturday, September 28th at the Vernon Hills Metro Station. We'll learn about the 2013 Walk to End Alzheimer's, which will be held in Independence Grove on Saturday, October 5th. We'll review some important tips for keeping everybody safe during our back-to-school time. We'll head on over to Vernon Hills High School and find out about the upcoming Lady Cougar feeder basketball tryouts. We'll check on the progress of the Route 45 resurfacing project, which is slated to wrap up in November or sooner. We'll meet some of the volunteer leaders of the Vernon Hills Soccer Club, which fields both recreational and travel soccer teams here in our community. And we'll check in with the Vernon Hills Police Department Dispatch Center to find out about the group's work, as well as how a new Auto-Attendant phone system is expected to streamline non-emergency calls. If you have comments or suggestions, please contact Mike Storto at 847-918-3560 or email Mike S. at vhills.org. Thank you for tuning into the Vernon Hills Update.
Well, Vasas Los, y'all. It's time for Oktoberfest, 9th annual Oktoberfest on Saturday, September 28th at the Metro Station. We're with our little Oktoberfest Fraulein and whatever you are.
Yeah,
sorry to the people from Deutschland. I don't know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
We're with Mike Ellison and Monica Lundeen from the Village Hall to talk about what's going on this year. 9th time we're doing this. We're getting pretty good at it.
Yes, we're doing it in October this year.
No, September.
Oh, September this year. Okay, I was close, was I? The preceding month. Anyway, we're doing it in September this year because we thought we might have a little bit better chance of getting better weather, and also it doesn't conflict, we don't think, with homecoming at Vernon Hills High School.
Well, and it's traditional in Munich that they start in September. It's a long festival, so we're right in there with it. We're good.
Exactly.
September 28th, Saturday, September 28th. Yeah, now I'm all messed up. So, well, let's talk about Oktoberfest. It's fun for the whole family, especially in the afternoon. A lot of kids things.
Absolutely. We've got the inflatables. We've got Holly coming out to do the balloon twisting. We have the petting zoo again this year. We have the children's activities this year. We may have a new partner sponsoring the children's activities, which would be Learning Resources. They're located here in Vernon Hills, and they have stepped up to the plate for that, which I think is awesome. Mm-hmm. Awesome, Mike. Awesome.
Awesome. Yes.
That's what
she doesn't use that word easily. So that is. See how much fun we're having just doing this.
Yeah, we can't wait for
Oktoberfest. Can you imagine the event?
Yeah, exactly. And when it comes to the children's things, like the crafts and things, it's always while supplies last. So like the pumpkins from Home Depot, while the supplies last. And sometimes they go through hundreds and hundreds of packets because so many kids show up.
Oh, yeah. We go through 300 to 400 pumpkins. And again, Home Depot will be supplying those and all of our decorations. And hopefully they will help us again like they did last year, which was great. It was really great that they did all the work and helped us out like that. We've got the two bands this year. It's going to be Kaleidoscope and UFC Band. We had UFC Band last year. I'm not one to repeat bands, but they were so terrific in getting everybody out on the dance floor, rather the parking lot, that I thought we'll bring them back one more year. They were really, really good. So that's what...
And you said Kaleidoscope is another... a Beatles?
It's a Beatles tribute band. It's just a couple of guys, 4 or 5 guys. But they're really good. I mean, they don't have costumes or anything like that, but they're really good.
Yeah, my mother told me all about the Beatles.
Yeah, you youngsters.
Yeah. Hey, I remember when they came to the Ed Sullivan show when there was our first
okay.
one. So they're
Yeah.
going to be really good. So you're dating yourself, so am I.
Yeah. We did.
Well, and when we talk about the kids stuff, kind of wraps up in the afternoon, like 3 to 4, maybe 5 o'clock with the bouncy things.
Well, it starts at 3. So everything, like the crafts and the pumpkins usually go so fast.
Yeah,
so it's
be there
usually over
early,
by
yeah.
5-ish.
Yeah.
And then the petting zoo is there until 5:30. The inflatables are there until 7. So everything starts at 3 if you want to get there. And Holly, who does the balloons, is such a big draw that there'll be a sign that if
Yeah.
you're still in line and it's the time she has to leave, she's gone.
When she's done, she's done.
done.
Yeah, and really, in the afternoon, it's you can't say enough about the kids having fun. It is just fun being there and watching all the kids having so much fun, and the inflatables, the music, the balloons, and everything.
So
It's just
one relaxing event that we have.
yeah.
It's an extremely
fun.
relaxing event, and it's fun.
It's very fit.
Maybe not for every parent. It's relaxing 100% of the time. Let's just say that.
Well, and it turns into a little bit more adult time later
Yeah.
too, because
Right.
you've got the refreshment tent and
Right.
and you've got your beer Fraulein pouring
Right.
the beverages, and then you've got all those community partners where you can
Right.
go and buy your snacks and your food for the night. And I know that you've been lining those up. We've had some that have been with us for forever.
Yes, we do. You've got the Lions Club, you got the Rotary, you've got the Vernon Hills Seniors. This year we're adding Walk to End Alzheimer's, and what they're doing is everybody that is going to help out that day gets a portion of that money for their team. So that's kind of nice. And then we have, who else do we have?
Well, we have the Vernon Hills Athletic Association, and there's, it's just a bunch of groups that really contribute a lot to our community.
Caring Connection,
Yeah.
the counseling. I believe I heard that Jonah Emel's going to have a food collection box out there. So go. It's a chance for you to, if you buy a piece of pie, you're giving back to the community. How many times can a little piece of pie help that much?
Absolutely, and anything that these nonprofits, and this is how we started this all, 9 years ago, was with Katrina, Hurricane Katrina, and we did this enormous event in 2 weeks' time,
Yep.
raised over $50,000. It was fabulous, and the community just came out in droves to help us, and so that's why we started this. Every year we are doing it again, and so we think it's a good community event, and the people seem to like it really well. We'll have raffles again this year, and make sure that you get your raffle prize into me as soon as possible. And
that helps
Yes.
these community groups
Right.
that we're talking about. So it's really
yeah, all the raffle money from the raffles, and we usually have about 50 to 75 raffles, nothing under $50. The raffle tickets are $5, and you could win. I mean, there's so many prizes, and this whole community just comes out and showers us with, either gift cards or baskets or, services, and that's what this community is about. It's the pulling together and helping each other.
Did anyone say beer yet? Maybe not.
Beer.
Well, it's Oktoberfest. You got to have
kind of a
beer.
given. Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah.
So we're
We
gonna
don't
have
usually
beer.
say the word beer on the
Oh.
update show, but
We have
beverage.
adult beverages.
Yes. We'll have
So.
adult beverages, and we may have a new addition this year, Tight Head Beer. If I'm saying it correctly, they're a brewery out of Mundelein. They'd like to be there. I've been talking to Bruce on that, so that's kind of cool. And then we'll have Miller products, and then we'll have wine, and then somebody will have the water in the pop and coffee.
So it's not like
Yeah.
you have to be over 21. You
Right,
can be there.
right.
And again, everything that we raise, whether it's through the gifts that people give that then you raffle
the
off or
raffle.
whatever, it goes back to these community organizations. So it's awesome.
And it's
That's
a
a nice
great
word for
thing.
that.
Right.
And the village is unbelievable. The village trustees and president are unbelievable on how much they, give for this event and any event really. They're behind us all, 100%. So
Yeah.
that's
And as
And
the
we
as
all
the
have a
community
lot of fun.
partners or something.
We have a whole bunch of volunteers. Obviously, all the nonprofit volunteers, and then the volunteers. A lot of them from Summer Celebration participate, like pouring beer. So it's a good time.
It is a good time. Everybody should watch. Mark your calendar now. It's a little earlier. Saturday, September 28th at the metro station.
And 70 degrees and sunny that day.
Of course, that's what we order, so that's exactly what we're going to look for.
And if you want to volunteer, I'd be more than happy to take any volunteers that want to help. Just give me a call here at the Village Hall.
Wonderful.
And we'd be more than happy to have you.
Okay, sounds good. Have a good, I don't know how to say goodbye right now in German, but you know what we're saying.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the 28th. Well, you heard us mention the Walk to End Alzheimer's as we talked about Oktoberfest. That's one of the organizations that's going to benefit from the Oktoberfest proceeds, and that has become a very important charity for our village. And let's talk a little bit about the Walk to End Alzheimer's, which is coming up in October.
Well, it's scheduled for Saturday, October 5th, and it's there's any number of teams, and Monica is very much involved in the umbrella organization, but it's a wonderful event at Independence Grove, and it's a great opportunity to reflect on, you know, people you've known in the past, love, people that are with us now that have the terrible illness of Alzheimer's, and how it impacts people. And it's one of those kind of reflection times. We've done it for the American Cancer Society, and I think that's another illness that once again touches you know, our lives. And again, it's always talked about as being a fight against it, and people looking for cures, and that's part of the, you know, that is the motivation to have this walk and raise money.
And I know in the spring you had the village charity luncheon. Proceeds went to this cause. Some of the proceeds from Oktoberfest will go to the Alzheimer's Association. And then if somebody wants to get involved, I know the village, some of the people who work at the village, you've created a team, which you can find online and donate to, or you can make your own team.
Absolutely. We can always use more teams. Just call Walk to End Alzheimer's. I believe it's alzheimers.org, where you can, you know, Google it, or you can call them. The phone number will be listed after we're done filming. Also, Patricia Chapman is our contact for Lake County. You can always call and ask for her. She's usually located in the Chicago office, but she comes out here all the time because obviously Lake County is one of hers, along with the North Shore. It's a great cause. I don't know many people that haven't been afflicted by this, whether it be a family member or friend or whoever. And we just feel that it's important to always give back more than you've been given. So that's why we do this.
And we have been given so much, so it's nice to be able to share and to do. And the walk itself, it's not like a grueling 10K.
Well,
it's a doable.
And everybody knows that Independence Grove, it's just one of the most beautiful sites in Lake County, and a chance to be there on Saturday. And it was even misting last.
It was, but it was great.
Yeah,
it was great anyways. It didn't matter whether it was raining or not. It goes on.
Right, and it was great.
We have great sponsors there. You know, different. Autumn Leaves, which is here in town. They're a great sponsor. Victory Center's a great sponsor. We have the Wheelshire in the Ponds. They're a great sponsor. They have more sponsors that I probably couldn't even name, but anybody that wants to sponsor, that would be great too. If you want to just donate, you can donate to us. You can donate to a team. Get a team together. It's just a really nice morning. You know, we'll have bagels and you know, McDonald's here in town has donated, you know, before. The Hotel Indigo donates stuff. Everybody donates so that you have bagels and fruit and what have you. So you can walk, and there are little booths, and then you can pick up the flower, you know, remembrance flower, and it's just a really nice ceremony, and it's a nice walk. And it brings people together. I think
Yeah.
that's most important.
Well, once again, it's that sense of community, higher purpose, service, charity.
Right.
And I think that's really important for all of us to link
Yep.
into something,
Yeah.
link into something at some way. So if you'd like to link into this in some way, whether it's to have your own team or to support the teams, you can find out more. The website for
Right.
Walk to End Alzheimer's has so much information. You can search for teams and just give them with
Right.
a credit card, and in
Right.
3 minutes you've done your part,
Right.
or get more involved, whatever
Right.
works. So.
And,
Right.
and we have a jar here too. You know, if you can't give more than $1 or a couple change, just put it in our jar here. It's at the Village Hall. You know, just do what you can.
Right.
You know.
And doing it helps us too. The giver
Exactly.
gets as much back, if
Right.
not more. So that's
Absolutely.
October 5th, Saturday, October 5th. At the Independence Grove is where our local walk is, and that's the Walk to End Alzheimer's. If you want to find out more, you can always call over to Village Hall. They can connect you with all the people, or go online and research, because it's a great organization. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for organizing the crew to do this, and best wishes for a
Thank
great walk.
you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Kim Christensen with the Vernon Hills Police Department's Crime Prevention Unit, and it's back to school time again, so it's time once again for us to review some safety tips for you. Before we get going though, I think it's important to review some facts about safety that we as adults tend to forget sometimes. Now, when it comes to children, you should remember that school-age children can become easily distracted and may start across the street without any warning. They're children. They also don't understand the dangers of moving vehicles. Having never been to a driver safety class, it's tough for them to comprehend that. Something else is, children can't judge vehicle speed or distance. It's very, very difficult for them to do that, so you can't expect them to. Something else is, because they're small, they can be blocked by a bus. A child could be standing someplace behind a fire hydrant, behind a mailbox, behind a vehicle, and you just wouldn't see them. But most importantly, children expect vehicles to stop for them. At bus stops, at crossings, they don't know what's going on in a driver's mind. They're in their own world, and they expect you to stop. So keep those things in mind as we go through some of these tips. Now here's some tips for motorists. First, be watchful for children going to and from schools and also at bus stops. And remember, as a driver, you haven't seen them for the last 3 months or so, so be prepared. They're going to be there. Also, a driver should get in the habit of recognizing where the school zones are. When you're traveling to and from work or to and from the store, especially in the mornings and the afternoons, remember where those school zones are. And I'll tell you why that's important in a minute. Right. Also, if you see a marked crosswalk, remember drivers must come to a complete stop. Not just slow down, they have to come to a complete stop and yield when a pedestrian is in a marked crosswalk. On school days, when children are in close proximity to a school zone crosswalk, that's another time when drivers must come to a complete stop and yield to them as they're preparing to cross. Drivers, look for bicycles, and children walking, and crossing guards. That's a good tip that you're in a school zone. Scan between parked vehicles. Watch out for children. Remember, like I just said, they're small, a lot of them are, and you might not see them standing between two cars. Be prepared that children might just come darting out from between two vehicles. Be prepared to take action. Be prepared to take evasive action fast. If it's appropriate, drive with your headlights on so children and other drivers can see you. Drivers, please avoid using cell phones while driving, especially during before school and after school hours. Remember, Governor Quinn just signed the law regarding cell phone use. However, that law does not take effect yet. The current law does make it illegal to use a cell phone in a school zone unless you have a hands-free device or are calling 911. That law has been in effect for a while. It's still in effect, so follow it. Drivers, be diligent at obeying all rules of the road. When it comes to school buses, a school bus's flashing yellow lights are a warning that the bus will soon be stopping to load or unload passengers. The driver will activate these lights during the last 100 feet the bus is traveling before stopping. If you see those flashing yellow lights, be ready to stop. Now, the extended stop signal arm and flashing red lights advise motorists the bus has stopped and is loading or unloading passengers. Let's clear up a misunderstanding that does pop up from time to time. When a school bus is traveling on a 2-lane roadway and is stopped to pick up or drop off pupils, the vehicles in all lanes of traffic must stop. Vehicles should stop at least 20 feet before reaching the school bus to allow pupils to cross the street safely. However, when a school bus is traveling on a 4-lane roadway with at least 2 lanes of traffic traveling in the opposite direction, only those lanes of traffic traveling in the same direction as the school bus must stop. An example of that would be Hawthorne Parkway. A violation of this law can include a suspension of your driver's license and a fine of up to $150 for your first offense. After that, the penalty is harsher. Now, this law also applies in parking lots, not just on the street. Now, when it comes to school zone speed limits, the legal speed limit is 20 miles per hour. Remember, Illinois law states that a school speed limit is in effect from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on school days when children are present. Parents, here's some tips for your children. We'd really appreciate it if you take a few minutes and share them with them. First, be sure your children look all ways before crossing the street. They should cross the road only where there are crosswalks. Instruct them to walk, never run when crossing the street. They should obey the directions given by crossing guards and traffic signals, and never chase anything into the street. Naturally, never play by parked cars, and they need to be extra careful in bad weather. Explain to them that drivers may not see them. If they're on a bicycle, make sure they always wear a properly fitting helmet. And tell them that they must obey the traffic rules on a bicycle. They should wear bright or light-colored clothing so they can be seen better. And lastly, tell them not to forget to lock that bike up. On behalf of Chief Mark Fleischauer and everyone at the Vernon Hills Police Department, we hope that all students have a safe and healthy school year. If you'd like more information, please visit our website, www.vhpd.com, or you can call 847-247-4889. Thank you very much.
Well, we are on a very busy spot in town. We're on Route 45 near Evergreen Drive. We're with Public Works Director Dave Brown to talk about Route 45 and a few other things. And before we get on to this traffic over here, let's talk about what's been going really well in town. You had a road rehab project that you guys were responsible for, and that went off without a hitch.
Yeah, we were able to complete our road project. We hit 3 different areas of town. One was a commercial area on Center Drive. We went into the townhome area of NCT, improved those streets, and then also one within the Deer Path area off of Aspen. So they've all been completed. We're looking that they're down to punch list work only. And we also had another project we completed at the metro station. We were able to resurface and redo the parking lot there, and that's been completed also.
Those things went really quickly too, because I know you wanted to get the bulk of that done in time for the 4th of July parade through Deer Path, and that happened.
Absolutely. Good reminder, actually, Sullivan Drive is one of the really important parade routes, and it's in the Deer Path area, and that was also resurfaced just in time for our parade.
Yeah, that's nice. It's nice that everything went smoothly like that. Well, and now let's talk about where we're standing right now, which is Route 45. Very busy all the time. Been a little tricky lately because there's some work going on here. Some lane closures we're watching for. People have been very patient about that. This isn't a Village of Vernon Hills project, it's a state project. But because of your capacity here with the village, I know you know some things about it. Can we talk about Route 45?
Sure. The state is resurfacing the project as we speak. It's through the whole limits of Vernon Hills. Essentially, it's from Milwaukee Avenue westbound to 4583 intersection, and they're making progress on that. Please be advised, this is not the highway widening capacity enhancement project that we've discussed over the last 8 years with the village residents, village board. That project is still moving forward. They're just getting into the phase 2 part of the project, which is really putting bids and specs together that they can bid the project out. But the roadway had maintenance needs and they had to address it, so they have moved forward. They are resurfacing the roadway. It's a $1.9 million project where the other one's $74 million. So I do understand where the state is trying to come up with the resources to move forward and do the ultimate widening project.
Okay. And as far as this resurfacing project, as we stand here taping toward the end of August, they're making good progress. I know that they say that the end of the job is expected in November, but what are the hopes of maybe a little faster?
Yeah, as you said, we're mid-August right now, and they've already put the binder course down. They're about to cut detector loops in and tie the pavement into the side roads. Then their major part is really resurfacing the main line and then put final surface on the connector roadways. They are making good progress. It's a very difficult task with the capacity of the roadway. There are extended morning rush hours. There's an extended evening rush hour. That's why we want the roadway to be widened. But for right now, they're doing a good job, in my estimation. One thing that we have talked with IDOT and their contractor about doing is nighttime operations. They have completed the milling at night. There was some noise in terms of horns, etc., that weren't acceptable in terms of residents. They are moving forward with some nighttime paving operations. That should take them about 7 working days to accomplish that. Much quieter operation, and we just want to do what we can to get the project moved forward because so many people do use this roadway and it is congesting our village. So we do work with IDOT well, and they are working with us to try to wrap it up as soon as possible.
Okay. And so that's this project here. We're hoping by November, if not before. And then let's go back a minute to talk about that expansion, because you said they're moving into phase 2. That's a multiple phase. There has to be money. There has to be all these things done. In your guessing, when might they even start a widening project or adding lanes or things to 45?
Typically, a phase 2 project would take approximately 2 years, and then they need to actually come up with the money and then actually construct the road. So given those obstacles and the financial woes of the state, it's really hard to predict. If they had the money lined up and they are moving forward at full speed, it's about 5 years for them to get through that whole process.
So that's something we just have to stay tuned for, and it's tied to the economy and everything else, just like everything is.
Absolutely. 5 years would be the earliest I would see, and then we really need to hear how the funding goes. It's currently not within the 5-year highway program.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. We know kind of where we're at, and we know why they're doing this. So for less than $2 million, they can keep the road going, as opposed to $75 million or whatever they need to do a little bit more. Now, if people want to find out more through Public Works, you've got a website that we can go to, and I know you guys are always there on the phone.
Yeah, so I'm sure you'll share all the contact information. If you have questions, please contact us. We're also maybe a side issue dealing with emerald ash borer. Whether it's a public tree or a private tree, if residents have questions, they can contact us at Public Works. We'll try to go out and give them some advice on different approaches to things, and we'd be glad to help. So if you could share the contact information, we'd be glad if they call us to answer questions.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time, Dave. Thanks for all the work you and your folks over at Public Works do. Remember, go online, give them a call, send an email. They're here to help. So thanks for your help, and let's hope for the continued good weather so 45 can get rolling again.
Let's pray for that. Thank you.
Okay, take care. Well, it's getting to be that time of year again. It's time for the girls of Vernon Hills to start thinking about feeder basketball. And we are with the people that know all about it because we've talked to them before. We're with the Bretners, Stacy and Paul, and we're here to talk about the Vernon Hills Lady Cougars feeder basketball program. Thanks for taking the time to join us. I know everybody's busy right now. We're looking at the feeder basketball tryouts starting at the beginning of October. So now as people are watching in September, it's a great time to start kind of working on your skills a little bit. When are you thinking the tryouts are going to be happening?
The tryouts are going to be happening early October, October 2nd and October 5th.
Okay. And that happens right here at Vernon Hills High School.
It does.
Okay. And we have with this program, there's a long tradition of cooperation between the high school and the feeder program because it is a true feeder program.
Yeah, we like to have a lot of vertical alignment, a lot of the feeders being involved with the high school kids being involved with the feeder. We're real proud of the organization.
Well, and saying that, you have a lot you can say to that because you are the varsity head coach over here.
That is correct. Since we started in 2001.
Well, and when did the feeder program start?
2000.
Okay, so you have had a lot of integration there vertically. And let's go back and give everybody a shout out to your girls who've played because that feeder program has definitely fed into a great Vernon Hills High School girls team, and you've had some great success not only here but then the kids going on to play elsewhere.
Yeah, without the feeder organization we wouldn't have had the success we've had the last couple of years. We've had several players go on to play basketball. We have a couple more going on to play basketball, and a lot of that's from where they started here at the feeder program.
And as you say, you've got that vertical alignment. You guys the feeder program is a non-profit entity as well.
Yes, we're a non-for-profit. We've been non-for-profit for about 2 years.
Okay, so this is something where your money goes right where it needs to go to do the roughing or whatever you need. Now, as a feeder, it's a travel-based program, so you're playing here at the high school, but you're also traveling to some other towns in the conference.
Correct. Their conference looks similar to ours, and they also have some non-conference and some tournaments, and so they do go not too terribly far, but they do travel. They go play basketball.
Well, that's a lot of fun too. And so we're talking a season that starts about when?
In December, and then we go through about beginning of March.
Okay, sounds good. So, and what ages do you have programs for the girls?
We have 5th through 8th grade, and we're competitive, and we teach a lot of skills. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I was going to say, whenever we talk to the girls, they focus on fun. They know they're learning the skills and they're having some great competition, and obviously they're doing very well, but they always talk about the fun aspect, the social aspect, and getting these teammates they have for a long time.
Oh, absolutely. Without both of them, I don't know that we'd be successful. If we just focused on skills and didn't realize that this is a fun thing to do, the kids might not come out, and without the skill, we wouldn't be very good.
Yeah, so, and it's always good to win. It's always fun to win, is it not?
Better to win than lose.
Yeah, it's a little happier. So once again, tryouts in October, beginning of October. You can watch for signs around town, look at the website. Also, you have been doing a free skills, and are you hoping to still do that?
Yes, we're hoping probably the end of September for 4th and 5th graders, and it's free.
Always nice to have something free. That's what we're all about on the update. Anything free, it's for me. So, okay, people can go to your website. People can also probably contact you guys, or the girls around the community know a lot about the feeder program.
Yes, most of the kids who end up on varsity have played, and so they're pretty connected.
Okay, very good. Thanks for taking the time. Good luck on the season. Make sure you go onto the website, learn more, mark those dates down on your calendar. If you have questions, talk to some of the girls, talk to the coaches, and best wishes on a great season.
Thank you.
Well, we are here at the VHAC on the soccer fields, and these soccer fields are fairly new, and so is the Vernon Hills Soccer Club. We're here with the people who've been here pretty much since the beginning, and they've been working very hard to make sure that we've got rec soccer and travel soccer right here in town, right here on our own fields here in Vernon Hills. We've got Kevin Atkinson, Andrew Rebeck, and Peter Kempf, and you probably know them from school and every place else, because these guys are those kind of guys that are involved in everything. So thank you for taking the time. I know you're busy, you got kids starting to roll in here, but thanks for taking the time to talk about the Vernon Hills Cougar soccer program right now.
Absolutely.
Now, we talked years ago when you were just getting this started, Kevin. How long ago was that?
That was 2008. We had one team. We started with one travel team in 2008 when my son Sammy was 8. So that was a U8 team, and 5 years later, we'll talk more about the details of it, but we're a lot bigger than that now. We have,
how big are you? Because, I mean, we're talking exponential growth.
We have 19 travel teams, 20 if you count our adult team. And we also have a rec league, which has around 300 kids per season. Okay. We run mini camps and academies as well for the younger kids.
Okay, and you do have something kind of for everybody. You were telling me you even have something for preschoolers.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Peter was going to talk a little bit more about the actual mini academies that we run.
Tell me about the mini kid.
Yeah, so we have a couple things for the young ages. One is the mini academy that you mentioned. That starts out in the winter. We go inside through the gyms that are available to us, and that starts as young as 3 years old. It's foot skills and training for the young ages, but all the way up to our older ages, up to 16 years old. So that is on for registration in the next few months. We also have our rec program that also starts at 3 years old.
Okay, when we talk rec program, those are the kids that maybe they've never played before, or if they have, they're very content to play like one game on the weekend. They're not into the tournament play. So that's rec, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, rec is coached by parents, and it's really the foundation, the building block of our organization. So a lot of times as the kids learn the skills, they move up into the travel program, which is more elite and competitive, and then moves on from there.
Gotcha. Now we're talking about rec too. For spring rec programs, you guys are getting ready to do registration already coming up in October, correct?
That's right. The rec season runs, there's 2 rec seasons. The spring program registration starts in October. So now's a good time to go online, vhsc.org, and take a look at our registration process.
And when we talk about registration too, you've got some exciting news. You guys are joining, you've been kind of combining forces with the Vernon Hills Park District, and so there's going to be some efficiencies there too.
This has been a long time coming. We've been working with the Park District over the years as closely as we could. Over the years, we've gotten very tight with them. We've run our registration for our summer camps and for our mini academies through the Park District, actually through the Park District website. We're officially an affiliate of the Park District now, and we're very proud of that fact. So
that'll make it nice for parents too, because it's kind of one-stop shopping. As you're thinking about Park District, you can link and find those things, and like I said too, like he said, go to the Vernon Hills Soccer Club website too, because that'll have a lot of information as well. Now we talked about this is for girls and boys too, right?
Absolutely, girls and boys age 3 and up.
Okay, and remind me again, you said we're talking a lot of kids between rec and travel. From the one team to what?
Sure. So with the travel program, we have approximately 200 kids, boys and girls, starting from U8 all the way up to U13 this year. We're finally getting to the point where we have older teams because they're growing into it. With the rec program, it's about 300 kids per season, as Kevin had mentioned. And with our affiliation with the Park District, one thing we're very proud of is this past summer we got our not-for-profit status. So we're our own entity now affiliated with the Park District, so we're real happy about that.
Well, and this has been a huge amount of work for you guys, because when you start something, you have to find your volunteers, you have to find your coaches, you have to find everything. And speaking of that, you do have great coaching. Let's talk about that. I know these guys don't want to toot their horns, so we're just going to put them on the spot. Kevin.
Yes.
Tell us how you played soccer.
Well, I played soccer growing up my whole life. I actually played in St. Louis where there was good soccer. Was able to come out of St. Louis.
Like how he says that. St. Louis had good soccer.
There's good soccer in St. Louis. Was able to actually come out of St. Louis into a college scholarship. So played at Notre Dame. Came through there, and it's part of my life. So when I got here and there was no program, it was time to start one.
Well, and I remember back when you were getting ready to start this, even before 2008, that's what you said. There's so many players here, and now there's even great fields around here. Why are we going to other places to play in other towns? And that was really your passion.
And that's exactly right. And it was, it was time to do it. The demand was clearly there, if you look at the growth of the program. And, the coaches are there. So we know the game. This is what we do. And we know how to find other great coaches. And we believe that we've built a world-class coaching staff.
Okay. Tell me about, Peter, about your philosophy, because I know you've been involved. You're involved with your girls and the other kids. You've been coaching a long time, too.
Sure. I have been coaching for a long time out of school. Started coaching at Deerfield High School. Our philosophy is very simple at the travel level. We're trying to bring the kids to the next level, whatever that may be for them. For some, it might just be at travel, never moving on. But we're looking forward as our kids get older, how great our high school teams are going to be, being a feeder organization for our high school. We're getting close with, as I mentioned, the U13s, and we're quite excited to see once they get into high school how good they will be.
Yeah, this has been like kind of a generational thing. You got to get the kids in the system, and because otherwise a lot of times when you started, so many kids were already playing elsewhere. And that was something you were working again. So
that's something that we're proud of also, is we brought a lot of the kids back to Vernon Hills. They were in other communities around us, and now I would say, you know, we're 95% roughly Vernon Hills residents, which is great. And as far as the high schools, we've been in conversations with them about having, you know, more interaction, using now with the program to use the high school field. We're going to have some of our older teams playing on that this year, ball boys for some of the little kids, so it's going to be cool.
well, it's nice having that beautiful stadium with that turf that they like to let us play on now. That's a great experience for anybody who's younger to go in there. You feel like you're going into, you know, Soldier Field or something like that. It's awesome. And let's talk a little bit. We talked about your passion for all this and your what you're trying to do. I know that I read on your website things like foot skills, discipline, sportsmanship. It's the whole package you're looking for.
We're trying to develop total players, really, and and people, exactly. What we're looking for is we want to build a platform where players who want to be as good as they can be are able to do that. And that's not just about skill. That's about skill. That's about sportsmanship. That's about teamwork. If we're able to do that, and we're able to roll some players out of this program who develop a love for the game, a lifelong love for the game, and develop into more complete players and people, then we've been successful.
That's an excellent thought to think about. Parents, so when you're thinking about rec soccer or any kind of soccer, think about these guys here. And I want to say, as far as people, you guys have a lifelong love. Are you guys all on the, we'll call it the adult team? I mean, I don't want to call it the geezers. Who's playing?
Some of us are too old and too out of shape.
Oh.
Just Peter.
Peter's representing us.
Oh, Peter's the guy?
Give it up yet. Yeah, it's getting close, but not yet.
I didn't call it the geezer team, just to understand that. So, and that's good, because you can come through all this and still love it, and then you can give that love on. So we've got a whole lot of programs here through these guys. If you want to know more, I know your website's there. You guys are in the neighborhood. People can talk to you anytime about it all.
We absolutely are. Please approach us. We'd love to talk to you about our program, both the rec, the travel, the academies, the camps. We're excited about what we've put together. We think it's a great platform for kids that want to play at whatever level they want to play.
And also, if you need help with something, your community's out there ready to support you. And I know you'd take help if somebody was just coming in and saying, you know, I have played soccer my whole life. I want to give back. I think you'd probably
always looking for volunteers.
Yeah, and we couldn't get to where we are today without the support of all our volunteers we have already. We have great team managers, people assisting with the fields. So we're always looking for that help. The three of us are volunteers as well. We don't take any money from this club. This is our not-for-profit, and we're real excited to do it.
Definitely the love of the game. I can tell when you're talking about, they weren't too excited about talking on TV, but they're excited to talk about soccer for you all. So thanks for taking the time. I know you got kids waiting for you. If people want to find out more, please go online or even call the Park District now. You'll be able to get hooked up with these guys. Thank you very much, and good luck on the fall season.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thanks.
We are at the Vernon Hills Police Department. We're at the community building, which is the brown building across from our previous building. So if you ever have to come over here, look for the brown building. We're with Kim Christensen. He's a familiar face around here. If you've been in town for any amount of time, it's good to see you back. You've been gone for a little bit.
Oh, thank you very much. It's good to be back. That's nice of you to bring that up. Yes, I retired in June of 2005 and came back this past April on a part-time basis to do some of the community relations and crime prevention functions.
Well, it's good to see you back. Like I said, people can remember you, so you're a familiar face. It's good to have you back here.
You're kind. Thank you very much.
Well, and let's talk about what's going on over here, because we're at the dispatch center. This is a fairly new facility, state-of-the-art. They put this in a few years back, and over time, some of our other community people around the area have joined in. So we're doing 911 emergency dispatch for quite a few groups at this point. Can you kind of go over who's kind of involved in here?
Well, we currently dispatch, obviously, for Vernon Hills Police and the Countryside Fire Department. And we recently did also dispatch for the Village of Libertyville. And in the not-too-distant future, we'll be dispatching for the Village of Lincolnshire as well.
And it's really, you've got a great state-of-the-art facility in here, so it's kind of a win-win for everybody. Everybody can tap into this and coordinate, and that's for 911. So you don't have to worry about where to call or what village you're in. You just call 911, and we take care of the rest.
Absolutely. 911 for the towns that are affected, like I said, Lincolnshire in the not too distant future, right now, Vernon Hills and Libertyville, those residents call 911, it's coming into this building.
And you've got all the the facilities to watch everything that's going on. And I know that I've heard that the call times have really been very efficient because you are coordinating so much stuff and using all this technology together.
Oh, absolutely. All our telecommunicators are trained for both communities, and they're professionals, and most of them have been at it for quite a while, and they know exactly what they need to do.
Okay, so remember, if you've got an emergency, 911, don't even think twice, just call. They'd rather come out and see you than to let it wait and let something wait and something get bigger. So that's 911. Now, we have another thing to tell people about. Should they be calling into your, let's call it the non-emergency or the business number, which I have is 847-362-4449. So that's like the business number. If you have just, I need a report, I want to talk to a particular officer, I have a message, I have a question, that might be a little bit different when people call in.
That is a little bit different, and that is our non-emergency number, and we still cannot stress enough, residents, Vernon Hills, Libertyville, whatever, if you have an emergency, you call 911. That has not changed. What has changed is now if Vernon Hills residents, when they call our non-emergency number, 847-362-4449, that's our non-emergency number, they will now be greeted by the auto-attendant system as opposed to an actual body or an actual person picking up the phone.
Now, and that auto-attendant, that means you're going to get press, I think you've got 5 numbers on there, press to get through. If you know somebody's extension, you can go right through to it. And how that's a little different is previously, one of the dispatchers had to pick up and then wait to transfer that and stay on the line and go through the whole rigmarole. And that's not so good if you have a high volume of emergencies coming through. You want to keep those guys working on those.
Oh, absolutely. And obviously, the more we are responsible for in this building, the more there's going to be more incoming calls. And they became the point where for a long time we did the best we could do not to have an auto-attendant system, to keep it that personal touch. But right now the growth has just required that we utilize it. The downside to not utilizing it is there's going to be more calls, which down the line can lead to more personnel, which obviously there's a cost involved in that. So the auto-attendant system is the best, most efficient way to deal with the growth.
And you already had the auto-attendant system was on the phone system. It's just you've taken the time now to turn it on and get everybody working on it. So.
Exactly.
So there was no extra expense there. It was a feature that was there. We're going with it. And I know it takes a little getting used to for everybody, but realizing too that you can always wait till the end of the thing and somebody eventually will help you out. So.
Yes, there is an option in there if you're not sure what button to press. If you listen through the options, and as you pointed out, and there's only 4 or 5 of them, if you listen through them, and then you'll be able to make your choice on which one it is you're looking for. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you want the records section because you want a copy of a police report or something like this, there's an option for that. There's an options for investigation. There's an option for the administration of the police department, and there's also an option if you need to speak to a specific officer, you can press that option and then dial that officer's name, punch in the letters for that officer's name. You can leave a message for that officer directly.
Well, it's one of those things we have gotten used to because a lot of other people have gone to auto-attendants. So I think it's just good that we're aware that that might happen. And again, that's the non-emergency number. That's I got a business question to ask. As you said, 911 is 911, and do not hesitate to call if you think you need something, and somebody will pick that up right away.
Absolutely. In fact, sometimes people get turned off by the auto-attendant system because they want to talk to a body. But one thing to remember is not only, ultimately, once you call the police department once or twice, if you need to, a person that would call on a regular basis, they're going to understand what they need to do. But also under the old system, if they called it and a person answered, and notwithstanding the time involved in it, it would also take time for that call to be transferred between the different phone systems. So this is actually going to be faster for the person who calls.
That's what I understand. The people, once you know how to use it and you're familiar with it, especially if you know who you're calling, you hit the button and you're put through. You don't have to wait as they click through all those other things.
Right. And if they called under the old system and one of the telecommunicators answered, would have to transfer the person, that actual physical transfer of the call from here to the other place would take a few seconds, which could be frustrating to someone calling too.
So hopefully this is efficient for everybody, staff members, callers alike. And let's go back and stress once more, we're great to have all these communities working together, working to keep everything efficient and keep those call times quick for the emergencies, and always dial 911. If you think you need them, call them.
Absolutely, and we think this auto-attendant system is just a win-win for everybody right now, and a great way to go about it. If anybody's got any questions, please give us a call. You go right to our website, send us an email. You can give us a call at the non-emergency number if you want. And if you have any questions or comments about it, we welcome those. But we think it's going to work out for everybody.
I think so too. And there is quite a bit more information online. Go to the website. There's even a place where you can send an email through the website. So you've got a form on there so if people have questions or concerns. Thanks for taking the time. Good luck with everything. And it's exciting to bring in Lincolnshire. So that's another great step for our dispatch crew. Thanks for the time.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Appreciate it.
Well, that wraps up this edition of the Vernon Hills Update. Remember, if you have comments or suggestions, please contact Mike Stordo at 847-918-3560 or email Mike S. at vhills.org. Thank you for tuning in to the Vernon Hills Update.